Coming to you from the land of the rising sun
and down under.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jeri.
And this is Distant Relatives.
With the chronic back pain.
Why, Jeri? What's wrong?
Oh, just bad posture.
Why do you have bad posture? What are you doing?
From playing on my phone all the time. Sorry.
Oh, that is the life I want to live.
I don't think so. So, what is up, cherry boy?
Wow. I just want you to be careful with that word. Because it might be derogatory to some people, but it's me, so it's okay. So
I just wanted to let you know that I learned something from the last episode.
That's true. Okay, so what's happening in Australia, Jer?
Okay. Updates. So recently in Australian news, we got cyber hacked by China. Whoa, no.
Cyber hacked.
Let me correct that. We got cyber hacked and the Australian government thinks that China did it.
Oh, like in what sense? Like what was cyber hacked?
The government sites and the critical infrastructure sites like health, their sites got all messed up and information were trying to be stolen and stuff like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That is a huge allegation if it's from China though.
I know.
Do they have proof?
I think it's just because of the fact that Australia stood up against China regarding the coronavirus thing. So now that's China's way of retaliating, but I don't think they've found proof yet because China's denying the allegations.
Oh, I see.
Crazy times.
Crazy.
Yeah. So in other news, since I mentioned coronavirus, so since June 1, restaurants and pubs have started opening again, which is good news for small business owners.
Right.
So these businesses can now host up to 50 people. And I've started going to a restaurant a couple of days ago and there were a lot of people, but we were safely distanced from each other.
See.
Yeah.
Wait, but what's the current situation with the numbers?
So the numbers aren't increasing in Sydney. It is increasing in the other states like Victoria. So our current death toll is 103, I think. And our current overall across all of Australia is 7,000 plus.
Okay.
And then 6,000 have already been treated and stuff. So not bad for the whole of Australia.
I see. Well, here in Japan, the same thing is happening. So they are lifting some restrictions. And starting this week, we moved into step 3, where more businesses are able to open up, but still maintain the social distancing. We still need to be careful and everything. But today, actually, moving from state to state, like prefecture to prefecture, has been allowed. So a lot of people are going to travel around domestically here in Japan, which is a good thing, I think. But then the numbers are still rising.
Oh, okay.
And you know what, Jer? You know why the numbers are rising?
Why?
So actually, COVID-19 is spreading in the darker areas of society.
Darker areas?
What do you mean? At night. No, but seriously.
Literal dark.
No, literal dark. But seriously, because it spreads in the host clubs.
But what are host clubs, Kuya Kyle?
Okay, so host clubs are these places where women or men can go to have beautiful men talk to them, service them, and have service in the sense that talk and serve them with drinks and everything, have fun and everything. There's nothing weird going on in that industry, I think, but what can happen afterwards, it depends on the people who are involved. So
got it.
It's a very it's the darker side of society, if we can say.
Yeah, so I can't imagine they're practicing social distancing there.
No, imagine I guess there are just a lot of people who just can't help themselves and just really want to meet the hosts, the princess of their dreams.
Yeah, maybe they just need company.
Yeah, maybe that's true. But then, like at this time though, like,
Yeah.
kind of dubious. And it also reflects somehow what kind of society Japan is, because, you know, these places are the places where people bring clients to so that they can like entertain them as well. Like the
Okay.
cabaret clubs are also
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
places. So places, they call it, that serve people, settai. But yeah, I don't know, maybe that's something they can look into. But now this whole industry is under scrutiny because of what's going
for
on.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a solution that they're coming up with, or?
Oh, well, right now they're just actively testing, targeting those
okay.
industries. So
Got it.
hopefully, you know, numbers go down because of this. But yeah, it's still a scary situation.
Yeah, that's the update.
So maybe we can give a recap on what happened last week. So last week, we talked about our experience with miscommunication on the surface level though.
Yeah, so we talked about the barriers, how English is the same but also not the same in Australia and Japan.
Yeah, so much miscommunication going on.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everyone's comments on Instagram.
Yeah, so helpful.
Yeah.
And like, so yeah, we forgot about the healthcare stereotype of Filipinos. That's like one of the main ones.
I know, how could we? Yeah, thank you so much for that comment. And we also
Yeah.
received a comment on how the word but is also used to reject here in Japan. And I just realized, yeah, it's a thing. So there's so many other stories that we
Yeah,
were
of
not able to
course.
touch. And regarding this, I was watching on TED Talk recently about, you know, the danger of the single story. Have you heard of this, Jer?
No, I haven't. What's it about?
Okay, so the single story. Sometimes we are presented with a single story, and this single story is enough for us to paint a picture for a certain topic. And we would think that that is the only story of the topic. So it really is a matter of misrepresentation or just looking at one part into a whole. So here in This and Relatives, we just want to remind you that we are talking about our experiences, and we don't want to paint a single picture of countries that we are in, but we want to just share a small window into what it is like. We do not
Yeah.
want to generalize, and
Yeah.
we just want to share what's going on, and hopefully it can challenge everyone to see the different aspects, the other stories as well, so we can all have a complete picture, right, Jer?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Okay, so I'm gonna share how I was able to find work in Australia and like all the struggles that came along with it.
I see. Okay, so let's start this conversation.
So just a brief background, I studied communication arts in college. And for those of you who don't know, communication arts is like mass communication. So it's a jack of all trades kind of course where we study marketing, advertising, TV production, radio, copywriting, and all that.
Okay.
All of that in just like 4 years.
Okay.
So it's a lot of little snippets that we can do.
Okay.
So imagine studying all that. I wasn't really able to have a career goal in mind because I was presented with so many different subjects
Right.
and courses. I was like, how can I pinpoint what I want?
Okay.
Because I actually enjoyed a lot of the stuff.
Okay, so before that, I want to ask you, in retrospect, what did you want to be?
So I wanted to be a famous actress.
Wow.
So that was a childhood dream of mine, and it's not something that you can study. I think like a lot of natural talent is needed, a lot of like
Yeah, there are many ways to tackle that.
yeah. So I never took that seriously. I just wanted to do it as I
But did you go into communication arts for this?
So originally my grandparents and my mom wanted me to go into nursing
Okay,
or something
right.
medical. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it. But they were like, you need to, because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
That's where you'll be able to earn and go abroad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I can't handle blood,
Yeah.
like I mentioned in like a previous episode.
true.
It's just not my thing. I can't force myself to do something like that I don't like.
Okay.
So communication arts was something that I felt like I could do because I felt like my right brain was
So more creative side
more
of things.
active.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't want to do anything else.
So what did you want to do?
I didn't have any like plans for me after. I honestly had no idea.
Right.
I was just going with the flow of my course.
I see. It happens to all of us, I think. I also didn't really know what I wanted to do despite studying food technology.
Yeah.
Right? Like the common path would be a food technologist afterwards. But then even then, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I could totally understand.
Yeah, because your course had a very specific job and role.
Exactly.
So like technically, if you studied food tech, you'd know where you'd end up.
Right. So it was the same for you?
No, like I said, in communication arts, like it's so much.
So there were so many options that it made you even more confused.
Yeah, so many options. So I was like, what am I supposed to do after?
Okay.
So I was a scholar for 1 year.
Okay.
Sup, I was proud of that, but I lost my scholarship because of like math. and they just taught math in like the first year,
right.
And then after that first year they didn't teach math and my grades are high enough to be in the scholarship thing, which gutted me and my family.
Oh no, so was it difficult without the scholarship?
The math. Yeah, it was so hard. My grandparents had to support me and my studies. Because, tuition fees are expensive. So it's also hard since my mom was a single parent. Shout out to all the single moms out there who's... Yeah. So it's definitely hard. So that's why my grandparents had to support me when I lost my scholarship. So after my 4 years, I would see my classmates like applying for work and applying at major TV stations as personal assistants. For a communication arts student, that was a goal to work at a major TV station. But I knew being a personal assistant would be a lot of work with little payback.
So you didn't want to do it because of that?
I didn't want to do it, because I was very salary focused even when I was like young.
There's a motivation to get that coin.
Yeah, I needed coin. I didn't want to work without a fixed schedule because PAs work like 12 hours, sometimes overnight, and they get paid like the bare minimum.
And you also wanted to stay at home.
Nah. Yeah, and also, going to and from our house isn't that easy.
You live in the mountains, y'all.
It's hard, yeah. So I was thinking like if it's nighttime and I get home at super late, then how am I going to get home? Nobody's going to pick me up and stuff.
So what did you do?
I honestly just wanted a basic 9-to-5 job. So all I did was I looked online and this random role caught my eye because it sounded very challenging. I was like, ooh, this looks like something I can do. The name of the role was like web traffic and marketing coordinator.
Okay, so what does a web traffic enforcer do?
A web traffic and marketing coordinator it's like a project management role where we get the tasks and then we delegate it to people and make sure we don't clog up tasks, and then we assign it to resources who can do the
like
tasks.
A project manager.
That's basically it. That's basically the role.
Did you like the job?
I actually enjoyed it. It was fun working with creatives. It was fun working with accounts teams, and so that was my first job, and I was there for like 3 years.
So moving to Australia, like you left your job right in the Philippines. What did you have to leave? Like what were the things that you had to sacrifice in terms of your work situation?
Okay, yeah. So after like that job, I moved up like in different positions in the same field, and it was like strengthening my career as a project coordinator. So I was promoted as a project manager at one of my jobs. So I was really building a very strong career.
Going up the ladder.
Yeah, I was going up the ladder. So when I moved to Australia, I had to sacrifice like my clean and nice career path and growth.
How did you feel about it though?
At first, I was sad because I strategically got similar roles because I really wanted to build like my resume so that it would look good. I wanted everything to be connected and everything to be like in a proper linear thing. Like, okay, I was a coordinator, then I was a project coordinator, then I was a project manager. So that was really good. And then knowing that when I go to Australia, I might just get any kind of job. It would like ruin my portfolio.
Why didn't you want it ruined? What would happen if it was ruined?
It was just a personal thing for me. Like, I just wanted it to look good.
So you thought it would affect like your future like coordinator the rest of your life?
Yeah, so I wanted that job. So that was like the path that I was set on getting. So I think that was the reason why I was able to find jobs quickly in the Philippines, because I knew what I wanted after my first job, and I was like, okay, so I'm always just gonna look for project coordinator roles, and then I would apply, and then since they saw my years of experience, they were like, okay, so that was easier for me to get jobs, I feel.
Yeah, I think there is a fear of losing track or like going off path.
Yeah, because imagine me, I really didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do. So since I knew I was good at this thing, I was like, okay, then I guess this is the path for me.
Okay, so going to Australia, did you have any idea what the job situation was going to be like?
No. A lot of Mike's family live in Australia, right? So they were giving me advice prior to my move. Like, the first thing they said was, don't choose a job. Like, get anything that you can get and just do it. That was the situation.
Okay, so can you give us your thought process on how you were able to like deal with this, and moving forward, what did you have to do?
I just felt like my future would be unsure, but I also believed in myself that I would be able to get a job despite not being sure of what it would be. Because I really didn't have an option. I really needed work. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get work. Moving on, a lot of them said like, so don't be choosy with work. So because some of Mike's family, they started as like laundromat assistants. Some of them are packers in factories.
I see.
Yeah, so even they had to start somewhere, no matter where it was.
So they started there and now they're in different fields?
Yeah.
So that was also sort of the options you were looking into?
Yeah.
Are there other options? And then what was the most appealing to you?
There are like tons of other options. So there are like cleaners, grocery jobs such as cashiers, like inventory stackers, like bakers. So it's a lot. The option that was most appealing to me was a cashier, because I've always wanted to be a cashier and like scan things.
Supermarket cashier.
Yeah. I wanted to scan stuff and then put the money in and then give the money out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we would play back in the day. Like,
that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, bahay-bahayan. Yeah. And then we would do the cashier thing.
I love that. Yeah.
I would be the customer buying the stuff.
So cute.
Oh, I see. So that translated even in the future. So you were really interested in it.
Yeah, because I was thought that would be fun. Why not? So yeah, okay, let's fast forward to when we moved to Australia.
Okay.
So prior to that, I did not look for a job in the Philippines for Australia. Like, I didn't apply for anything, okay?
Okay, so you applied when you arrived.
Yeah. I was very, very like excited to look for a job because that was my only goal. It was to get a job and then pay for Mike's tuition. That was it.
Right.
What I did was I dedicated every day to looking for work. So
ever since the first day?
No, sorry. So when I got there, like Mike's family spoiled us. They took us out, made us like go around the city and stuff. So since
how long was the adjustment period?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. Yeah.
So they made us go to the Sydney Opera House and made us eat good food. So that was a nice experience because, you know, at least I was able to have like 2 weeks to adjust first. And because when we got there, it was July of last year and it was freezing. There was like a snap cold winter. Like, it was like one of the coldest that they said. So that's why, guys, we're in winter now and it's freezing here.
Winter came.
Yeah. So that was 2 weeks of just relaxing and having fun and going around the city and getting to know Australia.
Okay.
And then after 2 weeks, I was like, okay, so this is the deal. I need to get serious.
Okay.
So I dedicated every weekday, like Mondays to Fridays, to applying.
Okay. So what did you do to prepare first?
Okay. So what I did was I asked people where they apply. Like, what are the sites? So one of the top sites in Australia that I used were JobStreet, Seek, LinkedIn, and Gumtree.
Okay.
So these were the sites that I personally used. But if you search online, there are other top 10 sites in Australia.
I see. So was this because you researched it or this was recommended to you?
This was recommended to me by your sister as
real?
well.
Okay.
Yeah, because I asked her like where she was able to get a job and she said Seek.
Okay.
And I asked other people here as well and they said Seek.
I see.
Seek was the top recommended site for me.
This is not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored, although we wish it was.
So so what kinds of jobs did you look for at first?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah. So even though they told me to get a random job that I could apply for easily, I still wanted to make use of my experience in the Philippines. So I applied for jobs connected to project management.
Were there a lot of jobs?
There were a lot of jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a lot of openings, especially in Sydney.
Okay.
For the different states, I won't be able to confirm.
Okay.
But yeah, in Sydney City, there are a lot of office jobs. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna try my experience in the Philippines, even though I wasn't advised.
So how many application forms did you have to submit in the first few weeks?
Okay, so minimum, I would apply to 10 companies in a day.
A day?
A day. I would do mass applications.
Okay. What were the requirements usually? Is it the same, just like resume and...
Yeah, so for Australia, it's basically the same as the Philippines.
Yeah.
I had to ask like friends and family what the Australian resume looks like compared to the Philippines.
Is it different?
And yeah, there's some information that isn't included in the Australian resume that we include in the Philippines. I'm not sure about you, but like in the Philippines, we put like personal information such as your birthday, high school, hobbies.
Right.
I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, I used to put that in my resume because I wanted people to know me.
We actually put it here too. Yeah, we put it here. Like, I mean, hobbies. Yeah, we would also sometimes put hobbies, but I don't know now. I've not submitted a resume in the longest.
Yeah, because it's a way for people to know what you're into and to know you as a person.
Yeah. Why didn't they allow it though? Do you know?
It's not really not allowed, but it's just like unnecessary. Like they don't need to know that. And as for the birthday, they take out the age because it's a way of being
discriminatory.
What do you call that? Yes.
I see.
So Australia is very sensitive to that.
With age, how about sex? Is it also the same?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't have gender in my resume. None of that.
So
like you take all of the personal information that would make you a target for discrimination. So I don't have my nationality and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that is so interesting. Because here there are a lot of industries that discriminate based on gender and also like I guess age as well. But then in Australia, so it's moving forward. So they're trying to reduce that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, good job, Australia.
If you apply in like straight to their websites though, sometimes they ask for gender, but you don't have to answer. It's like an optional thing.
It's an optional thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just based on your experience, right? So this is probably not for everything. Okay. What kind of jobs did you apply for again?
So a lot of jobs were related to mine. So like project coordinator roles. I applied for a lot of those.
Okay.
And then I also applied for receptionist.
I see.
Because I thought it was still connected to my course in college, like, comm arts. And then I would apply for the more physical roles like the cashier one. And then I even applied for a dog walker job.
Oh.
But nobody picked me.
Wait, is that a full-time job there though?
No.
Oh, so it's part-time. So you also applied for
Yes.
both part-time and full-time jobs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just try to look for anything because if at least I'm still making the most of what I can do.
Maybe there's a height requirement for dog walkers.
Oh, how dare
I'm sorry.
you?
Yeah, but what were the other jobs? Like, did you find any weird jobs like clinical trial experimentee or nothing like that? That
I did not apply for any of those. There are, but I didn't apply. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be
Interesting.
one. I don't want to be an experiment. But yeah, they're like female testers where they send you makeup or things like that you can try out.
Right. No, I just want to establish like to what point are you desperate for a job? Willing to
yeah.
Okay, so you really had your you still had your standards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I was like, I'm still gonna try and look for a decent job that wouldn't affect my health.
Exactly.
But yeah, things like
Bottom
that.
line. What were the other jobs?
I tried to apply as a cell phone accessory retailer.
Oh,
So I would
that is so
sell
specific.
cell phone accessories, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not techie at all. Like, I don't know like what's new in the technology world. I'm not into new cell phones and that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I won't be able to tell a Nokia 30T10 from a Samsung S5.
What?
Oops.
That is such a weird.
No, that's an over-exaggeration. Sorry.
Wait.
But yeah, I'm not really techie. I wanted to share this experience with you. So I got a call back and I was so excited. Like, oh my gosh, finally a call back from this company.
Right.
And then, so they gave me this address and I went there and it took me like an hour to walk to the their company.
From where? From the station?
From a train station, yeah. Because I got lost at some point and then...
So it wasn't specified on the site?
No, it was. It was just hard to come by. Like, it wasn't close to the train station.
I see.
So imagine me, an Asian girl, walking in like a suburb wearing professional attire. I was so out of place. Like, people were looking at me. And then, and all I had was like my phone as I was using Google Maps to direct me to where I was going. And then when I got there, it was like a warehouse situation.
Dubious levels.
Where there were like factories and giant trailer truck things. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is where I die.
My gosh, no.
I was so scared for my life.
But maybe that was the main office. Like, that's where the products are coming from. No?
Yeah, but it still looked weird. Because when Google Maps showed it to me, it was like the backside of a building.
I see.
So there were like giant delivery trucks. Like, it did not look like a good place to go into, So I was so scared for myself. I was terrified.
I see.
So I was texting Mike and saying, I'm here. If I don't, reply in 30 minutes, call me.
Oh my gosh, danger level.
It was really scary, but it was like morning, so I was pretty fine.
But I'm sure you wouldn't sell the stuff there, right? I mean, it would happen in a mall or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was in a mall, but like it still looked so sketchy.
Yeah, but I can understand, like, you can be wary about things, especially it's your first time in that area.
Yeah.
So what happened with the interview? Did it go well?
So I couldn't even get into the thing because it was like a giant steel door situation. So I was walking around and I saw like drivers of the truck. And I was like, excuse me, like, is this the place?
Okay.
And I said the name and they were like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I have an interview here. And then they said, oh, okay, we'll just call the person.
I see.
And then a girl came down and she let me in. And then it's like a whole factory thing. Like, it's so scary. But then when I went up, it was like a proper office, and then
Why are you scared of a factory, Jer? I mean,
you know, if you're a girl all alone, it's scary. Like a lot can happen.
you must watch a lot of weird thriller things and crime and serial killer situation movies.
And I can't defend myself. I'm too weak for that. So I need to learn like a taekwondo move or something.
You can't do that with Just Dance, Jer. Invest more time in these things.
I know.
Okay.
So when I got there, I met the lady. She's like the CEO of the cell phone accessory company. And she was really nice. But I think like the moment where she knew I wasn't the one was when I said I wasn't technology savvy.
Okay.
And she was like, oh,
bye.
but this is for a cell phone accessory application thing. So
yeah, but you know what, Jared? They would say that you need to fake it till you make it if you really wanted it, though.
I know, but I just wanted to be honest. I don't like lying in job applications. I can't.
Maybe you could have just said like, I am willing to learn.
So what I said was like, I am so willing to learn. I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna study all the cell phones in the industry and know their accessories, this and that.
Maybe because you used the word cell phone. Because we're not in that age anymore. The smartphones in the industry.
Oh yeah, smartphones.
There, you learned a new word.
Anyway, she wasn't really pleased with that. She was just like, oh, okay, I'll just give you a call when I think you're good for this
those
role.
are the moments where
like,
you really know now, oh, I just didn't get it.
Yeah, I like messed up and I knew
Were there moments where you were very confident though, but then you weren't able to get it?
Yeah, I had a lot of those. So I did a walk-in application for a pretty like very modern young jewelry store, like the cute accessories that kids nowadays wear. Whoa, I feel old.
Wow. So like a clerk position as well.
Yeah. So I just saw it randomly and then since it was near our apartment, I got my resume and came back looking all fabulous and super presentable. And I was like, hi, I want to apply for this role and I think I can do it. And then she interviewed me then and there.
It's a walk-in? Oh.
Yeah, it was just a walk-in.
I just want to know, like, how did you know about the application? Was it just on the window or something?
Yeah, it was on the wall and it was just like on paper. They were like, hey, we're looking for someone for this role. If you're interested, you can just come in and apply.
That is so brave of you.
Or you can send by email. But, since I felt like it was on brand. On brand for me. I looked like I'm the kind of girl who'd wear the thing. So I was like, okay, I'm going to send this.
You're basically stereotyping yourself into this.
Yeah, I was like, I can sell this because I love it myself.
Okay.
I'd buy these things.
So it was in connection to your interests, but not like I look like the type.
Okay, fine. It's connected to what I'm interested in. Yes. So then, and the girl who was there was Asian, so it made it like more comfortable for me.
That's interesting.
So,
is it because you feel like there's a complex with if it's like of a different race? Oh,
yes.
Wow.
I feel like I'm less.
Wow. Okay, maybe this is a conversation we can have in another episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I want to talk about this, but I think it's a Filipino thing.
Right. No, because honestly, I also have this conversation. Like I have a lot of stories of the inferiority complex. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes, I have that.
Okay, so maybe we can talk about this in a future episode.
Yeah. Definitely. So her being Asian, I just felt more comfortable in the situation. So I was like, hey, I really love your stuff and I'd love to be a part of this cute company, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, great. So I'll send your resume to my boss and then we'll get back to you. I was like, lovely. And then they didn't get back to me. Unfortunately.
Did you know why? Was there like a...
I was very confident. So I had a lot of those instances. So I applied in a telemarketing role and I was called for an interview and I did my best. Like the lady who interviewed me complimented my outfit and my necklace. And I was like, I can definitely definitely do this, and then I can communicate really well, blah blah blah. And she was like, lovely, that's great, and then we'll give you a call if you make it to the next stage. But I didn't get it. So so I was thinking, okay, since I'm getting interviews but I'm not getting like the job, what could I be possibly doing wrong? So I was trying to think and see what was happening, and then I realized maybe it was an accent thing.
Do you think so? Do you have proof?
So I asked like
why do you think so?
No. It was just me. It was just me. Like, maybe since it's a telemarketing role, they wanted someone to sound Australian. But that's just me.
But I think, as you said before, like, Sydney is very diverse. So I'm sure there are a lot of people with a lot of different accents over there. So maybe there's...
Yeah, but like, even like the Filipinos here who were born here or stayed here for so long, and like other races, they have the accent. Like, the accent grew on them after so many years. So even though they're like different races, they have
So are you saying that they're discriminating based on that?
It was my personal feeling, but I don't have proof.
Maybe this is also just a part of your inferiority complex.
Yeah. Possibly, yeah.
Because we don't really get the reasons why.
It was just like my way of trying to justify why I didn't get a job. You just have to like
tell yourself sometimes just to make you feel better. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I have a question though, Jer. What do you do to prepare for these job interviews? Because I think it would be very different, the type of job interviews in the Philippines and in Australia.
Based on experience, I feel like the Philippines is way more formal when it comes to interviews.
So it's casual in Australia?
Like, more casual,
in what sense? I want to know.
So in the Philippines, well, this is based on my experience and what I did as research, okay? So in the Philippines, like, appearance wise, you really have to like look good. You have to pay attention to your hand movements, those kinds of things, like all the little things. And the aura is just way more serious in the Philippines.
So it's like stiff.
The interviewer would just be really serious and professional, but in Australia they're pretty chill. Like, hey, you can just walk in, like, hey, how are you?
So it's a friendly kind of environment.
So you want to apply for this? Yeah. It's very casual. So I come in all stiff. So imagine me coming in all stiff and trying to look like trying to look all professional and stuff, and they're like super
But don't
chill.
they feel like, oh, this girl is like handling it properly? That kind. Did they expect you to be chill as well though? Is there an expectation for that?
I feel like you need to match your interviewers.
So you're that type of person.
Aura and their thing. Yeah.
So like, are the questions different as well, or more or less are they the same?
They're the same. I really couldn't find a difference between like...
In the interview style. Just the casualness of it all.
Yeah, in the interview process. Yes.
So did you have to answer like in a casual way as well? So you'd be like, hey, so I was like walking down the bar yesterday and I just by the beach and...
Like, no. I still try to be very professional but more upbeat. And like more...
So the word
friendly.
Choice is different.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I try to be like more conversational.
I see.
Instead of being an interviewee and be like, I did this, and this, and this,
this is very new news to me. Like, because I've never had an interview in the Philippines for a job. So I've never experienced it that way. So I don't know how it's like, how stiff everything is over there. But here in Japan, it gets really, really stiff.
I can imagine.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that is new for me. Like, I want to know what it's like to have a casual interview.
It makes you feel more at ease.
Yeah.
Because you come in all nervous. Yeah. And then slowly you just start to relax because the interviewer makes you feel more comfortable.
Maybe it's a cultural thing.
Maybe.
Yeah. But so you were rejected a lot of times.
So much.
Like, can you give us a ratio of like, just a percentage of like how many times you were rejected? 90%.
Yeah. Or more. Because I applied for so many jobs, like in the hundreds. And,
for real?
Yeah, and I only got hired twice. Or it was more than 90.
So when you got a job, you already took it.
Yeah,
once the offer came, you were just like, I'll get this.
Yeah.
I see.
So I got my first job thanks to Mike's cousin.
Okay.
So she knows this daycare because she leaves her kids at this daycare.
Yeah.
And this daycare has a Facebook page.
Okay.
And then they were like, okay, we're looking for more childcare assistants. So if you're interested, you can, apply.
Okay.
So when she saw this, she sent it to me.
Okay.
And
that's very helpful.
Yeah. And I applied. And I said, Mike's cousin recommended this role to me because she's one of your customers.
Oh,
so maybe it was like, so maybe it was easier for them to like get me in an interview because at least it's someone they know.
Right. So using your connections was also a big thing, a huge help for them.
Yeah.
So, but wait, how did you feel though? Like when you were rejected, like what did you have to do to pick yourself up? Because apparently we already have this inferiority complex going on.
Yeah. I got a little down when I felt like I did really well in the interview and I still didn't get a job.
Yeah.
But all I did was just keep on trying because for me, it was a way to practice. Like even the failed interviews, at least I was getting practice.
Okay.
It's hard, showing up.
Yeah.
And then doing your best and then not hearing back or saying you got rejected.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. Like I went to so many.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to like mentally prepare myself. Like, okay, do your best in this interview and try to learn from it.
Yeah.
And try to observe and see what I did and what I said and, those kinds of things.
Right. You know what? Because I feel like I'm the total opposite because I'm not just for me. Like I'm the type to like try for the things that I feel I would get into. I'm not the type like what you did, that you explored so many types of industries and just like tried your best. For me, to some extent I would do that, but then I would only apply to the places I feel I have an affinity to or two that I feel like I would get the job. So it's also like an inferiority complex of mine, and it really just like put a wall. Like it was a hurdle for me to like get past through. It was so hard. There are different styles to doing things, and I never really saw it in a way that it's practice. Because for me, like the thing of like maybe I'm just wasting my time. I really hate that aspect of like finding jobs and like having to waste time.
The
and
worst.
Like, but yeah, you had to like, I admire that. I really, really admire that.
Yeah, because I had no choice. I had to hustle.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the luxury of choosing a job that I know that I would be good at.
Right.
I just tried and tried.
But for you, it was like that mentality made it was greater than the fear of actually trying. But for me, I also had to hustle. I also knew that I didn't have a backup plan. If I wasn't able to get a job, I would go home. But the fear was just so great. I'm so happy like it sort of worked out for me. But then anyway.
I'm so interested to know more about like your side and how and like the job hunting process in Japan is.
Oh man, it's so different.
I feel like it's
here.
totally different.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for you to talk
about
it.
Yeah, so just for the listeners, I'm holding back on this because we're gonna make an episode about it. But then, dang, there's so many differences. I'm just like I'm just itching to like tell it all. But yeah,
I'm interested already.
Okay, so finally getting a job. What was it like?
So I applied for this job at the daycare, and it was a childcare role. So I wasn't a fan of kids.
Oh, really?
I mean,
are you the type that would want to get kids here?
No. Like as of now, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is because
it's not in my plan. It's not in my near future.
Because of the financials and all that.
No,
not really.
It's because I don't want like a living thing in my tummy for 9 months and then it's gonna rip out my private parts.
But then that's gonna happen in the future too. Like, so what's the difference? So it's never gonna happen for you?
I'm not gonna say never.
Okay.
In the future, it's possible. I'm not gonna lie. I want to make model babies.
Oh my goodness. Well.
But like the fear of the process is stopping me.
I see. Yeah, well, I think the hurdle of actually giving birth is what's stopping you.
Yeah,
okay.
Guys, like fam.
Okay, that is a legit fear. That is a legit fear.
Yeah.
Okay, but
It's like basically a parasite inside you for 9 months.
oh my gosh, like Jeri, that's
That's
life.
what I
It's the
believe.
miracle of life.
That's what guys feel because they don't have to
Yeah,
go through
okay,
it.
yeah.
Girls, can I get an amen?
Okay, I get it. Like,
Amen.
I don't have to experience it, so I really don't have a say. But then,
Yeah. It's like a horror movie for me. Like just thinking about it terrifies me.
Okay.
Like I
I
can't.
hope you get over that
honestly
fear. I mean,
can't.
if you really want to get a baby, and this is a conversation that probably you and Mike should have, not me in the
Yeah.
picture. I'm sorry for okay, maybe I can be in the picture. I'll be like on the sides, just like, hey, I have a
Ew.
say. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Ninong.
Oh, really? Oh,
Ooh.
okay, mamaya na yan.
Okay, no, just no.
Okay.
Okay, going back. So I'm not a fan of like kids unless they're related to me. So if you're a family member who has kids, I'm fine with kids.
Oh, okay.
Like, just a disclaimer, I don't hate all kids, but
you hate some.
taking care of. No, I'm not gonna say that. It's a handful.
Okay, but yeah, I
okay?
get it.
So
But I've worked with kids before,
Yeah.
so I'm actually the
What?
opposite type. Yeah, I love kids. Yeah,
you worked with kids?
Yeah, like-
in the teacher
yeah,
setting.
in a teacher setting. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's for later. But yeah, I know how
Yeah. Okay.
hard they are to handle. Yeah. but-
Yeah.
So, Jer,
Mhm.
maybe we can talk about relative splaining people today again. So I want to know.
Yay!
Giving us this privilege. Thank you, guys. But can you give us like tips? Because I really want to know. Maybe in the future, Australia might be a thing for me. So I want to know what your tips are for first-time job hunters in Australia.
Okay, listen up, fam. Because I'm gonna give you the good.
The good
Tips.
news.
Yeah, the good news. Okay, so tip number 1, research Australian resume format. Because like I said, some details that we add in the Philippines are not necessary in
Yeah.
Australia. So example, like where you studied in high school, your hobbies, personal info, take those
Right.
out. So it's also good to add like your whole work experience in the summary of the first half. So at least they can read it and know, okay, this person knows this, blah, blah,
So
blah.
basically putting everything in
And
just
then-
one page. So everything is easily seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't like long
Yeah,
resumes.
I think it's also the same for a lot of countries as well. Even in the Philippines, right? No? Sorry, I don't have experience, so is it the same?
For some companies, they like long resumes because you have a lot of experience to
yeah.
show. It depends on how much experience you
right.
have.
Yeah, but there's no
But,
really one
like-
format for this, so.
What's important is you have to put detailed examples. Like why you're a team player, why you're a hard worker. Like give actual reasons and actual scenarios because they
I
like
see.
that.
I think this would also apply to a lot of other places, not just in Australia. So I think this tip is
Yeah.
universal.
Yeah. So I can help y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this one's important because I actually saw a difference when I didn't send in a resume where I
Okay.
did. So personalize and write your cover letters.
Ooh,
Okay, so for any job you apply for, personalize it. Like mention the company name so they know that it's not a general cover letter that you just wrote. Like address the company and give everything you have in that cover letter and then just make it one
Okay.
page. So next, networking and referrals are very helpful. An example is like Mike's friend who is living in Melbourne was playing basketball with some guys and then they were just talking and he mentions that he's looking for work. Then one of his basketball mates referred him to his work and
Oh,
now
really?
he has a job.
He's working right now?
So
Oh, I didn't know
yeah, Mike's friend, huh?
that. Oh, okay. I thought I'm sorry. I thought you were talking in relation to Mike. Okay. Got it.
If you already have someone who's in the company and they refer you, it's gonna be so much easier. So if you don't know any friends and family, it's good to make
Okay.
friends. Okay, next tip. Don't be afraid to do
I see.
walk-ins. So sometimes you can't write your resume well, or if you feel like your resume doesn't stand out and you're more confident with yourself, then I would recommend walk-ins because they like walk-ins because it's easier for them to know. So
it's faster, the back and forth process. I think as well.
Yes.
And I think like maybe it might be more comfortable for other people because, as you said, they're very casual and friendly. So
so what I did was I went to malls and like just visit shop to shop and take pictures of like the ads because they just post it on there, the glass or the door, so that you know.
Okay.
So just
they also
come
have
prepared.
that, I would say, the not so modern type of like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last but not the least, do not give up. Just do your best and keep on persevering. Yeah,
because failure is the first step to success. And I think we would all have experienced rejection, especially abroad, because the difference in cultures, and there's so many things that you're not really sure of, and it's scary, and sometimes you would take it against you. But I feel like we need to just keep on going.
Don't take it personally when you don't get the job. Just, try harder and look for something else. And if you feel like you really want this certain job or role, then keep on applying again, improve your resume, and just keep on going.
That is right. And a lot of these tips, I feel, apply to a lot of other countries as well, a lot of other situations. And for our listeners in Australia, if you have other tips that maybe we missed out,
leave a comment about more tips that we didn't cover or weren't able to cover. Or if you know any more tips, you can comment down below.
Yes.
And it could help out a lot of our other listeners who are interested.
Yeah. Okay, because we're a family here and we just want to keep the community going. Okay, wow, Jeri, that was so interesting. I didn't know, there was so much to learn in this episode for me.
Yes, I hope I was able to help you guys out and help you guys understand the situation and how job hunting was, Yeah,
because I didn't think that there would be a lot of differences in terms of like interview style and stuff like that. That was very interesting for me. But what was most interesting that I feel that we both shared was this inferiority complex thing. And this was, I feel like, something that we really need to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So we have to...
It's a good topic. I'm excited to talk about that one.
Yes, me too. Okay, so for those who are listening in, if you have questions for us, please contact us at the email on the description below.
We're also on Instagram. It's Distant Relatives, the podcast. So please follow us and leave a comment. We've been getting some suggestions from everyone regarding topics that we can cover. So keep on commenting. Who knows, your suggestion could be in our next episode.
That's right. We're also on Facebook. So we also share other articles and other pieces of stories that we find interesting that are related to what we were talking about.
Yes. And we upload every Wednesday.
Okay, so maybe we should wrap this episode up, Jer?
Yes.
Okay, so this has been Distant Relatives. And remember, even if life abroad gets hard,
we don't have to go through it alone.
Bye.